This video is actually based on a YouTube short by some guy called Senye Grubs. He's got a lot of subscribers, 2.5 million subscribers. So clearly he's popular. And my beef isn't with him. And I'll explain that more in just a moment. Although there is one thing that just was kind of cringeworthy. But why am I looking at this particular video? I feel that it's my duty as an Australian to address the things that were mentioned in this video and to right some terrible wrongs.
You wieners asked if Australian snacks are better than British ones. That's a low bar, so probably, but let's see. Tim Tams are classic, of course, and I enjoy them quite a bit. My amazing sucking powers came in handy when I did the straw Tim Tam slam thing, but it was still kind of tough to do. I guess you Aussies have strong throats.
First of all, oh my gosh. You saw it too. He just tried to slam a Tim Tam in cold water. Well, that's not going to work. I think there must be a video doing the rounds on YouTube at the moment that only half-assed shows people how to slam a Tim Tam. Because I saw on One Pack Wanderers some time back where they did a similar thing. They tried to slam a Tim Tam in cold milk. And it was half a glass of cold milk, so it wasn't even up near the top of the glass. And it was a dismal failure. They got the corner thing right, but they just didn't realise that you have to slam your Tim Tam in a hot drink. It doesn't work if you don't slam it in a hot drink. It looks like this guy hasn't even cut the corners or the ends of his Tim Tam before attempting to slam it in a cold glass of water. But let's address something else here that I find a little bit disturbing. That's not even a real Tim Tam. Now, I don't know if Arnott's make a cheap-ass Tim Tam for international markets, or if there is a company somewhere else that makes fake Tim Tams and puts the Arnott's logo on them. But that is not a real Tim Tam. That biscuit looks like it would be perhaps more of a malt biscuit than a chocolate biscuit. It's not even the full size Tim Tam. It actually, to me, is a bit reminiscent of those, there's a cheap-ass brand that's like Tim Tams. Well, there's two. There's one that's an Aldi brand, and there's also one in the supermarkets that's like a cheap-ass imitation of Tim Tams, and I wonder if these are similar to that. But the cookie is the wrong colour, like the actual biscuit bit is the wrong colour and the wrong size. Look how teeny itty bitty that is. So if I could, I would send this guy some proper Tim Tams with the instructions how to properly slam a Tim Tam, a real Tim Tam, because this just does my head in completely.
Regardless, these are a solid 8 out of 10. Thins brand chicken flavored chips, or is it crisps, are a proud Australian snack, I guess. And they don't actually have chicken in them. Shame, I really don't trust chickens. Anyway, these aren't bad, but they just tasted like salty herbs. Pretty inoffensive, so like 5 or 6 out of 10 maybe.
That's a reasonable score, I guess. Personally, I would recommend, I don't know if they even make them these days, but the Crinkle Cut Samboy chips. There's so much more flavour. And I know that was like part of the marketing. But there is. Crinkle cut chips just have so much more flavour. These chicken ones, yeah, they're okay. But there are so much nicer chips out there, if you ask me.
Maltesers I haven't had before, and they did not disappoint. Nice and crunchy, and I could make an easy joke about enjoying balls in my mouth, but I won't because I respect you guys. I would definitely get these and the Tim Tams again, and based on this, I think Aussie snacks are better than British ones.
It's been a really long time since I've had Maltesers as well. But I'm thinking that they're actually normally a darker colour than that inside. I might be wrong. But it seems to me that this is also not the standard Australian Malteser. This is either something that has been made for a international market, or it is an imitation one. I can't see any branding on the packaging, so who knows. But I find it interesting and possibly a little bit concerning that people are overseas are trying what they believe are Australian snacks, but they are not trying the real Australian snacks. Because if you go to the reject shop, you can buy, I'm not sure at the moment, but at times they have stock in that are the international versions of the chocolates that we have here in Australia. And they do taste different. So sometimes you see, and I haven't seen this in years, but sometimes you see like the Cadbury's brand that's been made in the UK, but it's labelled to look the same as the Australian brand. But you taste it and it's really not as nice. The chocolate's not as creamy. So, I mean, it says here made in Australia, but is it the proper recipe for Maltesers? Still, he says he likes them, but having looked at that packet of Tim Tams and seen that that is not a proper Tim Tam, are people trying the wrong snacks overseas? I know some people get them posted to them from Australia, and that's a different story. But if you're overseas and you go into a shop that sells international foods, people are perhaps expecting that what they buy there is actually the proper Australian version of it, and it doesn't look like it is. Still, that said, while I can't comment in terms of whether or not the fake Tim Tams are going to slam as well, because like I said, he didn't chew the ends off or anything, and he didn't use a hot drink. But I think for the most part, these international versions of Australian foods probably aren't hugely different. So if he says they're good, well, I guess we should take that as a positive. So this was definitely a slightly shorter video than my usual ones, but I thought it just did my head in seeing him using water for a Tim Tam. So I just had to jump in and do a reaction. So thanks for listening. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And of course, leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on the Tim Tam in the water, for starters? And what snacks would you recommend to someone overseas if they wanted to try Australian snacks?